Hello everyone, welcome to talent management session. So we were looking at the goal management in our last course. So what we have done in the previous session, we had covered about the profile management. What is content section? What are the different types of content library? And what item catalog is? What is the rating model? So these are all the concepts which we have covered in the profile management. If you have not already went through that, I request you to uh, go check that video. And also in the last video, we have started the introduction about the goal management. So in the goal management, how goals are nothing but say targets. It's targets given to the goal or they set themselves. And once they achieve, based on how they achieve, how the success criteria is defined, uh, the performance appraisal would be decided. Their appraisal, their raise in salary, everything would be decided in the annual review or the mid-year review or on the interim appraisal cycle. So, depending on how the organization needs. And under goal management, we have mainly two different types of goals, which is development and performance goals. I've also included organization here because that's also one of the category. Development goals is nothing but the goal set, which is pertaining to the development of one's career. So it's mostly the staff who sets the goal for themselves, and then it's being tracked, but it is not evaluated by the manager. Mostly it is not, but some cases even that would be considered for your appraisal cycles. And performance goals are the ones where we evaluate in the system. Manager reviews it, he evaluates, we'll see, measure them, and then based on that, what is the rating that's being given? So everything is being considered here. So the outcome of the goals results is nothing but the target outcomes, we say it. And it would be in the form of skills and qualification, which goes into the content sections, that is competencies, skills, education, so all this, right? So if in case I do some certification, it goes into a certification area. If I add some skills, if I add some competencies to my profile, if I add any education now while I'm in the career. So all this goes into the skills and qualification, and that all are recorded in the profile management. That's how goal management and profile management are tagged. So what you see the profile contents there, that's the connection between goal management and the profile management. And we had also covered review periods, what the review period is, uh, which is the basic functionality where we say that on this period, we review the performance of the employee. So how do we review? It's based on the goals. Performance has this concept, like it is not just based on the goals results, it's also based on some feedback. Like we have some questionnaire concept, and based on the feedback they get, that performance is also decided. So there are multiple criteria. We will discuss that in the performance management sessions. So that review periods actually connect the configuration between the goal management and performance management. Um, so the majorly it is the performance goals, like I was saying, the performance goals are the ones which would be reviewed. The any like whatever the period review period you selected, the same period would have to go into the performance management. So where the review period is selected there as well while we are defining performance documents. And that was about the review period. Eligibility profiles are the ones where uh, it's a profiles created to define the eligibility of the goals. So we tag this to our goal plans, and when the goal process is run, they decides who it has to goal plans should be assigned to the employee. So that decision is made by the eligibility profile. And we have to create the profile has usage has to be selected as goal management itself, or else when we are selecting the eligibility profile under the goal plans, we would not be able to see it. So only the ones which are selected as a goal management profile usage, they are the ones which would be available. So even during mass assignment, eligibility profile would be used. Now coming to the goal library concept. Goal library is nothing but the repository of all the goals. Whatever the goals that we create, whatever is there in the system, everything goes into the goal library. And like how do we create a goal is inside the goals itself. So there is nothing separate that you create to categorize the different goals. So it is all going into our goal plans, but goal plans are not under goals library. Goals are the only ones which are under the goals library. So if you go to the goals library configuration, you can go create the goals there. And in case you have a requirement from your client saying that there are like hundreds and hundreds of goals are given, saying that these are all the goals that we have to add it into the system. In such cases, uh, we need not have to create all the goals individually. We can do it directly by using the spreadsheet loader. So spreadsheet loader are the ones which is going to come handy when it comes to loading the goals. So we'll see that as well, how to use a spreadsheet, how we can add multiple goals. Goal and goal plans. So I already discussed about goals. Now goals should have some basket so that we put that and then we assign it to the staff. Goals directly cannot be assigned to the staff. It has to need some categorization. We add that into our goal plan, and that goal plan would be assigned to the staff through the scheduled process or mass assignment. So uh, goals are nothing but the set of targets which employee has to achieve. Goal plan is the set of goals. And few additional features that we must know before we start with is lookup, which is nothing but the list of value. In the goal management, multiple pages we see goal plans, goals, um, performance goals. So in all these pages, we need to add like there would be some fields which would have a list of values in the drop down. So how is that coming? That is all coming from the lookups. Most of them are system lookups, and some are even the extensible and the user lookups. If it is the user lookups, you can go customize, add multiple values. But these are defined lookups. You must know the difference between lookups and the value set. Lookups are nothing but it's a defined both lookups and value set is the list of values itself. But what this purpose it serves is you in the lookups you define the values. You just give the values. It's all hard coded. The only those values can be selected. Whereas value set, it the values comes based on the. I mean the values are dynamic. I would say so lookups are the fixed values. Value set as it is getting from the database itself. Based on our previous selection, our next selection will be decided and that list of values comes up. So this value set where we use is in the descriptive flex fields. So in the responsive UI, if you would want to add any flex fields or even the classic page, that can be achieved through the descriptive flex field. If it is a redwood, any additional fields needs to be handled, that we take care through the VBCS, Visual Builder Studio. That was about descriptive flex field, value set, and lookups. And one other thing is the profile option. Profile option are the ones like we enable them so that certain features will be available. Let's say we need a Redwood. So for that, you need to enable whatever Redwood available for the talent management. If you enable, all the Redwood would be responsive UI page would be replaced by Redwood pages. Similarly, whatever things that needs to be enabled, that can be achieved through the profile. If you have to disable enable, that we can see it under profile option. And goal management notification. So this goal management notification comes in a goal work area itself. But this is entire, I mean, it's applied throughout the talent management. We will see how it is available. First, I'll go through the additional features itself, and then we'll get into the goal and goal plans. For this, I have logged in as an employee because I wanted to show you how transaction would be done and also how configuration would be done. So for the employee who is also an HR, I have added the implementation consultant role. So now I go to the setup and maintenance. In this, there is a setup, a workforce development functional area. In this functional area, if we select workforce development, all the talent related modules can be seen here, like worker goal setting, questionnaires, which is about the performance, worker performance, and workforce profiles. So all these are the ones which are related to succession management, talent review. So now what we are looking into is the um, goal management. So if I select this worker goal settings, I can see almost all the configurations, except the eligibility profile isn't there here. But except that, we see everything. So whatever that you configure through here, it's a classic UI. I would like to tell you one thing here. Um, so here under Go Library, if I select it here, as of now, I believe this spreadsheet thing is only available in the classic UI page, whereas in the responsive UI or the Redwood, if you see, you wouldn't be able to do it through a spreadsheet. Like you wouldn't be able to, this option isn't there in the responsive UI. Okay, let's get started with the worker goal setting lookups. We'll just go through how many other lookups that we have got. Okay, so these are the lookups. These are the fields that is available. And in case if I just open any of this goal category or goal measurement type, so if you see this is user type, so I would be able to change the meaning here. In case if it was a system, I wouldn't be able to do that. So in this way, there are multiple lookups. If what is the approval status, how it should reflect. This is system lookup, and I wouldn't be able to add any extra code here. What is measurement type, level? So everything, if we just look at the name, what is the target outcome source? So if I select it here, what are all the options that is available? My job profile, content library. So this, in case there is anything to be changed and if it is a user lookup, we would be able to modify them based on the customer needs. What is the goal status? What is the quantitative measure type? What is the goal type? So now, if I just open this, we have these three options. Uh, in case I wanted to rename it, I can do that. It's a system lookup, so only the meaning can be changed, not the additional lookup code that can be added. If it was a user, I guess I told it wrong. We would be able to change the meaning, no, but we won't be able to add the code. Okay. So anything that starts with HRC, which is human resource goal, that all comes under the goal management lookups. So in a similar way, the goals value set also, if you create any a descriptive value set and if you want to feed the values there, then you would be able to do this. So as of now, I don't see anything. Likewise, we have descriptive flex fields. So this descriptive flex fields, goals, goal axis, goal plans fee. So on this pages, we have it goal plans, goals, and the goals axis as well. So in case you don't really remember this and you have not navigated to this, you can do it by enabling the highlight flex fields. If you highlight this flex fields um, on that page itself, you would be able to see what flex field it is, and you can end up adding the new flex fields based on the needs. Now coming to the profile option values here also, what needs to be enabled, what should be available, what shouldn't be available, it is all decided here. In case you don't want the delete goal request approval. So if you doesn't want that, then you can disable this require manager approval when worker deletes. So this happens by default, and because this is enabled. If you disable this, that option would be it can only be overridden when the goal plan setups. Likewise, we have multiple enable disable options. We have a measurement there, the values that is available. Can we add multiple measurements? So everything is out here. Completed goal edit options. Once it is completed, once the goals that is assigned to the staff and they set the status as completed, that is, they complete the goal, can the edit option be enabled or not? So it's set as never because this is how generally uh, organization comes up with. Once they have set to complete it, it should go to an approval to a manager, and then they have to review it. If we give the option for them to edit even after that, that um, that's not a stable configuration. So which is why it's set as never. Okay, that was about the profile option values. Now coming into a goal management notification settings. So now, like I said, this goal management notification settings, it's not just for the goal management, it's for performance management, profile management, and talent review. Everything is consolidated here itself. Uh, Goal management, see, whatever is enabled based on that, the notification will be in case the HR assigns a goal. And once they assign the goal to employee, should they receive a notification saying that there is this goal assigned by the HR? Or HR cancels a goal. He assigns it and he cancels it. He assigns it and deletes. So in that, all transaction, or even if it is edited, should the worker or if employee edit it, should that trigger a notification? Everything can be configured here. And in case, see what we are seeing here, enable, disable here. In case you want it, you enable it. In case you don't, you can disable. And if there is any changes, I told that it is going to trigger a notification. For example, worker receive notification when HR performs a mass assignment of goods. In this case, they receive a notification. And that notification which they receive, um, so this is how it is going to end up with, and this is available in the shared folder. You can see called as workflow notification. You can also see the okay, now, here you can see the path. So in this path, in this folder, report is actually placed in the workflow notification folder. And if you have anything to change on the data model, you can do it, or you can click on edit. And then the download would start. You can download the template and see how like how usually we can make the changes. So that's a RTF template that's used. Let me share that as well. Mm. Okay, so this is a BI report RTF template. Let me share it. Okay, so this is what it is. The multiple templates are actually integrated in this. When it is goal cancelled, when it is goals assigned, goals updated, every template is already here. What happens when goal assigned? What happens when it is updated? This is basically an RTF template. And if you click on enable editing, in case the ADF integrator is already downloaded in the system, then you would be seeing the BI publisher here where you would be able to click edit and then make the changes. Okay. So that was how you can make the changes on the RTF template for the notifications. So likewise, we have it for performance management, profile management, and calendar review. So whatever the changes happens, if it has to trigger the notification, we simply can come and make the changes here. Now let's go back to the home page. Okay, I also had, okay, we almost covered all the configuration, the additional thing that we have discussed. Right. So now what we'll do, we'll get into I'll show first in the responsive page how a HR admin can navigate. So here in the My Clients group, so this person is a manager, HR, as well as an employee. First, let's start with the ESS, which is an employee self-service. Here, if he has to add a goal or if to see how exactly goals can be managed is through career and performance. You have to come to the goals here. In the Reddit page, you can see the same work area school center. Here, it's a responsive page. We'll also check how we'll enable the Reddit since it's an updated version. We'll enable the Reddit and we'll see how the Reddit page appears. So in the responsive page, what happens? You can filter based on, you can create based on the business title, review period, and goal plan. This business title additional thing can be given. We also have an additional one more uh, one second. So just come to the goals. Okay, right. Okay, yeah, we can create based on the business title, what business title they have got. We can do it. So now we can see this is a goal which is under the goal plan. This all year goal plan, I will show you what kind of plan it is. It doesn't, if I select it as 2024, even then this plan is there. If I select it 2023, the plan is still available. 2022, irrespective of the review period I'm selecting, this plan is still there. Whereas the other plan, if I select it as 2025, I could see there's one more, which is the test plan which was created. So there's additional plan which only belongs to this 2025 review period, whereas all other review period had only this. Now, there is one plan which was under all year goal plan, which was to enhance the data security measures. So this, but this goal, this is a goal that we are seeing under all year goal plan. This is a goal. If I select it as 2024, the same plan, but the goal isn't there because the goal wasn't attached for this goal plan as of this period. Goal plan, this is called as primary plan. The plan would be there, but the goals has to be explicitly attached. Okay. So what a goal primary plan would do, let me say it already in case I forget it later. It's like in case organization comes up with a requirement saying that we have this goal plan, which is common across every staff in the organization. And it's not restricted to any review periods. We have it all over on every year we have this, or in every period we have it. In that case, even if I have a mid-year review, mid-year period, if I select it from January to June, even in that case, this plan is there, this goal plan is there for the other review period. So for all the review periods, it is there. So while creating a goal plan, there's a separate section at the top where we can create a primary plan, and you don't attach the goals there. You just create a goal plan and keep it. So because it is going to be available across the review periods, and goals can be attached to it later. Okay. In case there are any goals which are assigned to me, those goals would come up here and I can review that goal. Let's say my peer, they would assign me a goal saying that try looking into this goal and try to finish it. So, in case I think it's going to add value, it's an efficient one, I can add that as my goal. Not just the co-worker, it is also the manager or the indirect managers. So if they assign also, it comes up here. So they just share the goal with you, and you can review it. If interested, you can add that as your goal, which would come up here. So anything that you have to work on should be under this board. Okay. So if I just selected here actions, so these are the actions that I could perform. So I can share this goal with someone. I can assign it to someone, uh, edit display sequence, and if it is multiple, request the feedback. That all those can be. If I want to copy this goal, duplicate it, and create a fresh one, I could do that as well. See, while creating this goal plan, they have told that there is a total weightage distributed. So they had mentioned as 100%, whereas this goal carries only 15%, 50%. Hence, it's giving me a message saying that this goal carries 50% weightage, which is not correct because they are enforcing 100%, and it is requesting me to edit the weights. I could do that, or even the HR can do it. So this already is completed. Since this goal is completed, it has went for an approval for my manager to review. Hence, I wouldn't be able to delete it. As soon as the goal weightage uh, is not equal to 0%, if I perform even a little percentage of progress, then I wouldn't be able to perform the deletion or the cancel. And in case I would like to add the goal for myself, I could do that here. So here, library goal, I can select what like a goal that I would want. So every goal I have created, it is all here. I can select one of it from the library goal. I'll just select it as HR goal. Yeah. Okay. Once you select the goal name, what you had given then while creating, it comes up here. So in case you select it as this, whoever is who belongs to your business units, uh, it would be shared with them. Okay, and if you don't want, you can uncheck it. Or you don't want anyone to view this goal. In that case, you can make it as private. You can track this goal for yourself, and it will not be available to anyone, not even to your manager. So for now, I'll not keep it private as well. So the start date of this goal plan which we had created, it was associated with this goal start date. So the same would come up here. We'll keep it as it is. Goal weight, we will have it as 50% because it has enforced 100%. So 50% is already completed. So I can keep it only as 50%. And the level, stretch or target, I could select this. So for now, I'll keep it as blank in case any priority needs to be set on the goal that I could do. category. If it is required, I could do that. This category is not available in the classic UI. If you go this category level subtype, you may see. Yeah, few of these fields are only available in the Redwood and responsive pages. And these are, it doesn't hold that importance as well. So status, I'll just keep it as not started. Success criteria. So based on what are you going to define the success? So let's say for a HR, they have to, let's say the goal is about, they have to add like the hiring timing has to be reduced for a HR, or that training uh, feedback has to be improved. So we must get a complete feedback. So these are the some of the goals that we will assign it to HR. And how do we define, identify their success, whether they have completed or not? That is based on some documents they have. They have to track everything. They have to record everything. So if they have those records ready, and they can add that as well. See, you can add any attachment as a proof to say that this was completed based on this. So there is a proof here. You can attach it. So I'll say training goal, completion of training, and feedback is the success criteria I said for this goal. And in case if you want to measure this goal, that can also be done. So I'll say measurement name would be training measurement. Unit of measure, let me select it as percentage. What percentage of training have you completed in this specific period? What would be the start date, end date, if you want to define it in between that period itself that you could do? What was the target value? Maximum value, I'll say it as 30%, or like not 30%, 70%. Minimum value, minimum target, actual value, everything can be set here. So I've just set it as percentage. So based on the percentage, we define this. So maximum target, we usually don't have it. So the sum of the values, if it is multiple measurements, that can be done. And in case you want to add the task, that can also be done here. So it's like you had mentioned like what basis entering, I'll select it as the type. Completion percentage would be 70 again. Training task. So you have to mentor two people after the training. Something like that. Okay. Any task you want to add that to the goal, you say that you say success criteria, you also add the task, you also add the measurement, so that it would be easier for a manager to evaluate this. Well, on completing, they'll gauge it using this. And target outcomes. So whatever the output that is measured, everything, it goes as skills and qualification, into competency, skill, certification if they added qualification, license and certification, any content section. So this was a content section we had created in our last session, during our last session. So that can, if the additional content also, if it has to be created, those content types can be created. So I'll just keep it as competencies. And now click on save and close. Okay, so this is how, as an employee, I have created a goal for myself. Now let's go and check as a manager how they would be able to see the team's goals. So I'll go to my team, which is an MSS area, and then go for okay, this person doesn't have the manager access. I'm sorry about that. We'll see how the manager thing also works. We need to add some roles so that he gets the goal sections. Let us quickly check if it is available under my team. But you would see the other different work area called as goals itself. So to see the team goals. Okay, it's not available here. In case you want to add the performance goal, development goal, that can be done here. Okay, some exception error. So yes, we that's how it is done, and it is similar to how we just check how we added the goal for ourselves. Similar way we can add the goal for our team as well. So there would be a list of staff who comes um, who are reporting to you if you are a manager, and then you would be able to select the staff, assign the goals, and then assign the goal plans to them as well. In the HR end, this is where you see, which is the goal section. And these are the areas that's available under goals. Performance goals, this is a place where you're going to review the goals. So performance, all the performance goals will be available here. The goal library, it's nothing but a goal library, performance goal library, where you add the goals. Review period, we have already seen. Let's just quickly check once. Now we have all the review cycles, so I'm not going to create anything. In case you have a different review period, that can be created here. So with the start and end date, keeping the status is active and giving the review period. And the eligibility profile that you're just going to create it, saying the profile usage is goal management. And we have one created. So this is the one. Uh, it has only the active payroll eligible staff. In case I want to add, let's add one more here so that while working, be easier for us. What will be at? Okay, um, okay, wait. I'll go to the staff. Okay, this is the staff. We'll see what is this person having the job. Okay, we'll just filter it based on create. So what I'm trying to do here is I wanted to add a goal to this employee. I'll add the goal to the goal plan. I'm going to add eligibility, which we'll be creating or modifying. So I'll go to the goals. Eligibility profile. This was not available in the classic page. So if you want to add eligibility profile, you can go to a global search work area, eligibility work area, select the profile as goal management to create it, or you can navigate here and create as well. Okay. So now what we do, we just select it as goal management. Click on search. Okay. So on this, I need to modify and just add the grades. The sequence, select from the dropdown. Okay, so now I'm going to click on save and close. So that was about the eligibility profile. I just did the changes like how I needed. Setup of performance goal mass assignment. We'll see this in the next session, how we can create a mass assignment of goals. Go scheduled processes for performance goal. This is once we are created with the goal plans, goals, everything is all ready. We need to assign that to a staff, and that can be done using this process. And pending goal plans, if there's anything pending under the goal plans, that comes all set here. Okay, let's get started with the goal library. I will, okay, like I said, if I had to upload the spreadsheet, then there is no provision for me to do it through the responsive page. I have to do it through the classic UI page itself. As of now, at the moment, from the latest release, it is not there. Probably the future, since the responsive UI Redwood is the only option. Either the spreadsheet would come up or to load the mass goals, there would be another options. Okay. So now I'll go to the setup and maintenance. The equipment is already there. I'll just select work for goal setting and we'll select the goal library. Here it said as goal library. The other place we see it as a performance goal library. Here as well, once we get into this page. Now what I'll do, I will upload this through spreadsheet loader. So let's prepare the spreadsheet loader. I'll just, for this spreadsheet loader for you to use, you need to have the ADF desktop integrator downloaded. So it's the simplest thing that can be done. What you have to do is just download that. Once you have installed, the add-in comes and set into the Excel. Even the Word that we saw, the RTF template the other time, that can also be used. We'll just log in now. So as soon as you install, the BI publisher would be established. And once you download this Excel, like when you clicked on uploaded, that would get downloaded. Once that is downloaded, how do you establish the connection between the servers? You would get a pop-up saying if you wish to connect to the server. Then once you click on yes and give your credentials, then you will end up here. So these are the options that would be available if you have connected to the server. So here, all that is available. We just saw while creating a goal from an employee end, what are all the options that is available. No, we haven't created the goals yet. So what we'll do, we'll create one goal and then come back to the goal library. Okay. So in the goal library, let's create one goal manually and then we will do everything through the spreadsheet loader. So first thing that we have to do is give a goal name. Uh, let's create some HR goals. Okay, we'll do it for the ERP implementer itself. We'll say it as successful implementation consult, successful ERP implementation. So that's a goal name. So I wanted our consultant to name this. Available to. So I'll set the status as active. Available to who it should be available for. Should this be available for HR specialist and manager? And so this you have to select it. So in case you don't want worker or manager to have an access, then you can select only the HR specialist. Or if you want to restrict the access for the worker, you can select it as HR specialist and manager. Now I'll select it as both. I'll keep this as the performance goal. See, certain goals will be applicable for both development and performance. Once it is performance goal is done, the staff can use that same goal as a development goal. So we can, if we select it as both, it will be used as both. So let's now only just stick to the performance goal. I'll set the priority as high, whatever the priority you need to select it as. The level stretch target. So yeah, this is available in the classic page as well. Start date, what is the completion date? Uh, Everything could be given. While we are giving doing it through spreadsheet, start date usually mandate field. And in case you want to measure the goal, just say it as percentage again. The success criteria also we need to give. So what I'll do, percentage of outcome, I'll just say outcome. Percentage target type would be minimum 30 percentage of completion on time. Okay. Measure specific in case any comments you can write it. I'll give the success criteria saying the percentage of a um, successful completion. Successful completion and feedback received. That's the from clients. So that's how I'm going to gauge it. That's it. That's a success criteria. If there's any related links, you can attach it there. In case if it is not, I can click on save and close. So the successful ERP implementation goal was added. If you would want to see it, just have to search with that name. It comes up. Now we'll create two goals from this. So whatever fields that we saw while creating a goal manual, the same fields are all available. Type, available, goal name, description, success criteria. The same fields are there. Status, priority. Like I said, start date is mandatory while we are doing through spreadsheet loader. So you have to, so the one which is highlighted, this is the rule that we need to update on. I cannot do any changes here. It doesn't accept it. So I need to do it here. So let's create three goals. We'll say for NIAP, they have to data migration, successful data migration, or seamless data migration. So this is one of the goal. And testing and feedback. So feedback, compliance, successful testing and feedback. Completing testing and feedback when users on time. And the other one is integrate or implementation or implementation period as scheduled. So sticking implementation. Implementation. Okay, as scheduled. So I'm going to select the type now. I'll set everything as a performance goals. And I'll make this available for everyone, like we saw. Or let's see one of it. Okay, I don't need the HR specialist. Let's copy this, paste everything. Success criteria, seamless data migration is based on the uh, issues of the data identified. Complete testing where feedback points, feedback scope. Implementation period, this we track the implementation cycle. Tracking period from the implementation cycle. So I'll give everything as active. So what you see, the lookup values that we saw earlier in the page, here as well, we can see that if I select it here, I can select the drop down will be well. Here as well we saw it, right? Priority I'm gonna add, this is also a lookup value. So I'm going to give them this format. It would be accepted based on how it is needed. So I'll just keep it as random dates. Category everything if in case it's something required. What we want saw in the UI, same are all available. If it is not, I'll just this key which is generated, it gets generated based on the rows we add. That is to identify the each rows. So we're not going to touch that and we shouldn't. The status also, once it is uploaded, whether it is failed or not, it will be loaded here. This 2, 3 rows in the key column we are not touching. I'll just click on upload and then click on OK when it prompted. Yes, if you want download all the successful rows. Yes. See, now the it says row inserted successfully, which means that it got added. Let's check that. So what are all the rows we added? Everything is available. Whatever the start date we had given. And if I go inside this, I could see the success criteria, what was given. See the success criteria. If I had given the measurement as well, it would have come. Okay. That was about the spreadsheet loader. So now in the next section, what we'll do we have created multiple goals now. So let's add that all goals to a goal plan. Let's also see how a primary plan can be added. And then we'll see how it can be assigned to the staff.